destined for greatness, born with the legendary ancient sacred body, though cultivation seemed impossible at first. Entering the immortal realm secured his absolute status as the supreme young master, backed by an all-powerful clan. In reality, he was a reincarnated soul. Our main character, Jun Xiaoyao, woke up expecting a trash-tier life. But fate had other plans. Ding! The system suddenly awakened. He instantly claimed the fully mastered sacred body. A miraculous phenomenon of 10,000 kneeling saints erupted. If this legendary secret leaked, the consequences would be absolute chaos. To protect him, the Jun clan sealed the truth. Xiaoyao fully agreed. These wise elders truly understood the art of staying low-key. Laying low was the true path to becoming a legend. But as the elders forged a seal to hide his divine physique, a white-haired phantom suddenly shattered their ritual. The 18th ancestor of the Jun clan had descended. His supreme voice echoed like thunder. Children of our glorious clan never cower in the shadows. We hide from absolutely no one. If any fool dares to threaten this boy, I will personally exterminate their entire bloodline. His blazing wrath instantly silenced the trembling elders. With absolute authority, the ancestor bestowed Xiaoyao with the supreme title of Sequence Zero. The elders gasped in sheer terror. Meanwhile, our main character stood there completely baffled. Sequence what now? What kind of overpowered cheat was this? A sequence title granted direct rights to rule the clan. The elders panicked. Wouldn't this paint a massive target on Xiaoyao's back? But the ancestor simply scoffed. If anyone disagrees, let them try to steal it from the boy. I won't interfere. Xiaoyao immediately turned pale. What a ruthless grandfather. Are you kidding me? I am literally a newborn baby. Can't I just enjoy a peaceful, lazy life? Meanwhile, the ancestor kept playing with his precious grandson, completely forgetting. The poor infant was still naked and freezing in the wind. 3 years later, the divine child who shook the immortal realm was now a toddler. Xiaoyao sat silently, absorbing his grandfather's lecture on the ancient martial path. First came the physical body realm, then the divine treasure stage. Master this, and you command the spiritual ocean, forming the true spirit. How long to breach the divine treasure stage? Average mortals need 5 years, geniuses take 3. But you, my grandson, will only need 2. Xiaoyao internally sighed. This old man was heavily underestimating him. He could feel the breakthrough brimming within him at this exact second. Without any hesitation, aura exploded around him. He shattered the 5 bottlenecks effortlessly. The spiritual shackles broke. Grandpa, I think I just hit the divine treasure stage. The old man froze completely, his jaw hitting the floor. He was so overwhelmed by this monstrous talent he nearly fainted. Xiaoyao rushed to catch him. Did I just give my grandfather a literal heart attack? To celebrate this miracle, his grandfather offered any treasure his heart desired. But Xiaoyao paused. Having just arrived in this vast fantasy realm, what could a 3-year-old overpowered demon possibly need? He looked up innocently. Have you heard of the primordial ancient stele? It was a legendary monolith from the desolate heavens. Striking it measured a cultivator's raw, terrifying physical power. The Jun clan secured it in their arena to test the younger generation. Xiaoyao flashed his best puppy dog eyes. Grandpa, can we please go see this legendary stone? Melting instantly, the doting grandfather happily agreed. Meanwhile, at the massive martial arts arena, a striking blonde prodigy stepped up, preparing to unleash her devastating power. She unleashed a devastating heaven-shaking golden palm. Bam! The ancient monolith trembled. Dazzling golden numbers materialized on the stone. 150,000 pounds of raw force. The crowd gasped in absolute disbelief. 150,000? At her young age? Suddenly, a venomous, arrogant voice pierced through the cheering crowd. What is there to praise? That was Lan Qingye, a ruthless successor among Lord Changjian's elite 10 followers. Crossing her meant certain death. Unfazed by the vicious mockery, the blonde prodigy, Jun Linglong simply rolled her eyes and turned away. The ultimate disrespect. Boiling with rage, Qingye screamed at her back. Is it true you dared reject the young master's invitation? Changjian has decent strength, but he lacks true dominance. Linglong sneered coldly. If he was truly mighty, why send a barking dog to bother me? The tension instantly skyrocketed. I will teach you respect in his name. Qingye lunged forward, but Linglong crushed her wrist in an iron grip. Just as aura flared, a childish voice echoed through the arena. Is this the legendary spot? The fierce girls froze, whipping their heads around. Standing there was 3-year-old Xiao Yao. He had arrived at the arena for his daily system check-in. Ding! Check-in successful. Congratulations on securing the 6-star legendary reward. The Divine Elephant Prison Crushing Force, a god-tier technique that masters itself without a single day of practice. The ultimate cheat code, as Xiao Yao admires at glorious system panel. Qingya's shrill voice shattered his peace. Where did this filthy brat come from? Xiao Yao blinked, completely annoyed. Getting interrupted mid-power-up was incredibly frustrating. This woman is way too loud. Placing tiny hands on his hips, he declared his absolute dominance. I am Jun Xiao Yao from the Heavenly Emperor Palace. Got a problem with that? The words Heavenly Emperor Palace dropped like a bombshell. The entire crowd turned pale as ghosts. Could this tiny toddler be the legendary anomaly? The one who forced the ancestor out of seclusion to crown him divine child? While Qingya stood utterly paralyzed, Linglong brutally shoved the arrogant girl's head into the dirt. We greet the supreme divine child. Xiao Yao smirked internally. He was literally 3 years old, yet these elites bowed like peasants. The perks of being born completely overpowered. His eyes locked onto the towering ancient stele. Since he was already here, why not test his terrifying limits? Xiao Yao casually circulated his newly acquired, heaven-defying technique. The Divine Elephant Prison Crushing Force activated. An ancient, suffocating aura engulfed the arena. Linglong and Qingya trembled, unable to comprehend this godlike martial art. Then, a tiny fist flew forward. Boom! The monument vibrated, displaying a mere 10,000 pounds. A deafening silence fell over the crowd. Utter disappointment washed their faces. Was this so-called divine child actually a fraud? The whispers turned to mocking laughter. He wasted our clan's legendary resources. But standing before the stone, Xiao Yao's lips curled into a chilling, demonic smirk. They had no idea. He unleashed his true spiritual ocean. A crushing, catastrophic pressure slammed into the mocking crowd. Linglong and Qingya choked under the overwhelming gravity. Sweating profusely, Qingya trembled in absolute horror. What kind of monstrous aura was this? Not even Lord Changjian possessed such soul-crushing dominance. Xiao Yao looked down at the pathetic crowd. If 10,000 isn't enough to impress you, then prepare to witness absolute devastating power. He threw a second, fully charged punch into the colossal monument. Boom! The invincible ancient stone suddenly spiderwebbed with massive, horrifying cracks. Crack! The indestructible artifact exploded into thousands of tiny fragments. The shockwave blasted through the arena. The disciples' jaws hit the floor, eyes bulging in pure, unfiltered terror. This monster is only 3 years old? Xiao Yao blinked, a bead of sweat dropping down his cheek. Oops. I definitely overdid it. That legendary monolith was shattered into literal dust. If Grandpa makes me pay for this, I am finished. But suddenly, a blinding golden mist erupted from the rubble, soaring into the heavens. Dazzling, divine text materialized above them. The heavens themselves bestowed a legendary reward. The eternal extreme realm had been unlocked. A blinding column of divine light violently crashed into Xiao Yao's tiny body. His true legend was beginning. In countless past eras, no child has ever possessed such terrifying physical strength. Beside Xiao Yao, his grandfather appeared out of thin air. You shattered the divine concealment realm and reached the spirit sea threshold. Just where are your limits, you little monster? His doting grandfather crouched down, rubbing the boy's head. What was that technique? Where did you secretly learn it? Xiao Yao just blinked with profound innocence, confessing he accidentally smashed the ancient mountain stele. But his grandfather merely laughed it off. Broken? Who cares? Fearing punishment, Xiao Yao eagerly offered to find a replacement, since it was still a family treasure. Maybe it still works if we glue it back together? Seeing his grandson's adorable ignorance, the old man burst into roaring laughter. Rest easy. Our Jun family has oceans of treasures. We do not lack such worthless trinkets. Come, let us head home. I will teach you the spirit sea cultivation methods. Just as the duo prepared to leave the martial arena, Linglong suddenly blocked their path. Without warning, she dropped to her knees in absolute submission. I, Linglong, swear to serve the divine child. Please grant me the honor of becoming your humble servant. Xiao Yao froze, utterly bewildered by this dramatic twist. The crowd went wild. That arrogant wench. Young Master Jian lowered himself to recruit her, yet she throws his face into the dirt. Xiao Yao looked down at the kneeling genius. Why do you want to be my servant? When you knelt, the whispers around us went crazy. They call you incredibly arrogant. They say you possess the legendary 7 apertures mystical heart, destined to become a saint. So why follow a child? Linglong looked up, stunned. Are you testing me? Or do you truly not know? But seeing his genuinely clueless expression, it was clear he had no idea. His grandfather stepped in, his voice echoing with ancient wisdom. Linglong belongs to a branch family. Their resources and connections are pitifully scarce. To touch the heavens, she must cling to the main family's golden pillar. This girl has terrifying foresight. One look and she knew my grandson is destined for supreme greatness. Ha ha ha! Xiao Yao casually agreed to take her in, but his conditions were absolutely outrageous. You must brew tea, pour water, and wash my clothes. When I am bored, you must entertain me. Linglong's sweat dropped, dark lines forming on her forehead. Was he looking for a Dao guardian or a nanny? Those are my only terms. Do this, and I will grant you endless cultivation resources. Tempted by the supreme destiny, Linglong happily accepted Xiao Yao's demands. Without hesitation, our overpowered protagonist hopped onto her back. Onward, to the heavenly emperor palace. Linglong was utterly speechless. Was she a servant or a mount? Wait, Xiao Yao. Flying high was supposed to be your grandpa's exclusive privilege. No, Grandpa, stop joking. Compared to your old, muscular back, this big sister is definitely a much smoother ride. What a ruthless grandson, throwing the old man away once he found a new toy, leaving the great ancestor in the dust like that. Is it really okay? He is ridiculously strong, he will be fine. Let us go, I will show you the way. Meanwhile, the enraged Qingya fled the martial arena. She desperately needed to report this heaven-shaking event to young Master Jian. A few minutes later, she arrived at a majestic mountain peak. Just as she took a step forward, a legendary blade struck the earth right before her feet. 2 terrifying guards appeared from the shadows. The young master is in secluded cultivation. No one shall disturb him. A disaster has struck, Qingya screamed. Divine child Jun Xiao Yao shattered the eternal. Extreme limits. He even conquered Jun Linglong. The young master will handle this when he awakens. You are just looking for trouble because you are bored. How dare you speak to me like that? Do you want to die today? Watch me tear you apart. Just as the tension reached a boiling point, the 2 guards suddenly felt an overwhelming, suffocating aura exploding from behind. Jun Jian had finally emerged from seclusion. Qingya's eyes sparkled with malicious delight. Young master, you have finally awakened. Like a scheming little bird, she threw herself into his arms, snitching instantly. The 2 imposing guards were brutally ordered to slap themselves 20 times. Jun. Jian looked down at Qingya. Who dares to upset you? Who else but that wretched Jun Linglong? You have no idea, young master. She chose to follow an arrogant, snot-nosed brat. But before she could finish, a resounding slap echoed across the peak. Jun Jian struck her. You dare scream such disrespect in front of Jun Xiao Yao's name? Have I spoiled you into a fool? Jun Xiao Yao is the son of Uncle Wu Hui and the Jiang family's divine maiden. He is even protected by the legendary 18th ancestor. If I provoke him, my entire standing in the family will turn to ash. I must beg for forgiveness immediately. Far away, Xiao Yao's grandfather wore a terrifying scowl. Meanwhile, his precious golden grandson was casually whistling, playing dumb. Our little Xiao Yao might be young, but you are already a master at stealing hearts. You got a pretty big sister, and threw your poor grandpa away. How could I? I will always be your beloved little treasure, Grandpa. The absolute audacity of this shameless lie. Of course, the old man did not buy a single word. Suddenly shifting gears, he asked about the power used at the ancient stele. Xiao Yao smirked, calling it a minor stroke of destiny. It is the divine elephant crushing hell technique. At its absolute peak, I can transform into an immemorial deity. I can even summon the gates of the underworld. This was the very first time the old ancestor had heard of such a heaven-defying art. Trembling with excitement, he declared, "When you turn 10, the family will throw a monumental banquet. All the supreme forces of the Huangtian mystic realm, immemorial aristocratic families, and countless ancient clans will gather. We will officially announce your supreme zero-sequence status to the entire realm. The era that belongs entirely to you is dawning." Ding! System prompt. Congratulations, host. Check-in location unlocked. Please check in at the 10-year-old banquet. Damn it, I have to wait 7 whole years? The time gap was completely outrageous. He pondered the Supreme System's hidden rules. Suddenly, Linglong materialized like a ghost inside the room, scaring him half to death. Outside the Heavenly Emperor Palace, Junjian requests an audience with the Divine Child. His new servant moved silently like a shadow assassin. She boldly retorted, "You explicitly told me to make myself at home." Well, she used his own words against him. A total self-own. Xiao Yao narrowed his eyes. Who exactly is this Junjian, and why does he seek me out? Linglong revealed that he was the master of Lan Qingya, technically a senior brother from his own supreme clan. And who on earth is Lan Qingya, the ridiculously noisy girl from earlier? Ah, her? You just had to say the obnoxious one and I would know. Xiao Yao decided to grace this Junjian with his legendary presence. But the sight waiting outside made a cold fury ignite in his eyes. Lan Qingya was brutally bound in blood-soaked thorny vines. Razor-sharp spikes pierced her flesh, leaving agonizing crimson trails. I heard my subordinate dared to clash with little brother Xiao Yao. So today, I dragged her here to bear the punishment of her sins. I pray that you will magnanimously forgive her. Punishment of her sins, my foot. With that arrogant smirk, this bastard was clearly trying to establish absolute dominance over Xiao Yao. They finally stepped into the grand hall. Jun Changjian seethed with blazing jealousy, absolutely furious to see the proud Linglong reduced to a mere serving maid for. Xiao Yao, will you truly just let her kneel here like a dog? This is her punishment. If you forgive her, I certainly will not let her stay here and lose face. Anyone who dares to offend me gets crushed instantly on the spot. So do not use a fake apology to satisfy your own twisted, dominating desires in my presence. Xiao Yao's ruthless, dominating words made Linglong stifle a soft, amused laugh. Meanwhile, Changjian's veins bulged wildly across his forehead, his face twisting with pure, unadulterated murderous fury. You sharp-tongued little brat. Since my apology heavily displeases you, this completely useless trash can just die right now. Without a single second of hesitation, Changjian unleashed a lethal strike. A deadly sword aura aimed right for Lan Qingya's forehead, but Linglong deflected it instantly, saving her life. Your temper is blazing way too hot, senior brother, but drawing blood inside my Heavenly Emperor Palace. Are you actively courting death? Xiao Yao violently flipped the massive table. Precious spirit fruits scattered wildly across the floor. He saw right through Changjian's pathetic scheme, punishing subordinates and spilling blood in his territory. Who was he trying to intimidate? If Xiao Yao were a normal 3-year-old toddler, he might have trembled in fear. But Changjian provoked a sleeping divine dragon. Now, he was sweating bullets, absolutely terrified by Xiao Yao's overwhelming, heaven-defying aura. How could a mere 3-year-old possess such terrifying, godlike power? Xiao Yao arrogantly waved his hand. Do you dare to duel me right here, right now? Changjian fiercely accepted the challenge. If you win, you get my Supreme Heaven token. If I win, you will apologize publicly on your knees. Suddenly, Linglong sent an urgent telepathic warning directly to Xiao Yao. That specific token is a priceless treasure. It unlocks the legendary Supreme Secret Realm hidden deeply within the ancient immortal realm. Supremes are immortal gods, ruling from the very peak of existence. Imagine the countless divine treasures hidden inside that almighty realm. Hearing this, a wicked, calculating smirk crept onto Xiao Yao's flawless face. He instantly feigned extreme, dramatic greed. Senior brother is far too generous. I must truly thank you right here. He. Hearing that sinister, demonic little laugh, a terrifying, bone-deep chill immediately ran down Changjian's spine. The explosive duel formally commenced, but almost instantly, he realized something was dreadfully, horribly wrong. I am the officially ranked 10th genius of our glorious clan, acknowledged by absolutely everyone. So how in the shining heavens am I being utterly crushed by a 3-year-old toddler? Meanwhile, Xiao Yao treated the intense fight like a total joke, dancing around and relentlessly taunting his desperate opponent. He flashed a wildly arrogant, contemptuous grin. Come on, brother Jian, try a little harder to hit me. This absolute, crushing disrespect made Changjian's blood boil with raging fury. He desperately wanted to rip the kid apart. Pushed to his absolute breaking point, he unleashed his ultimate killer move, the Purple Emperor Sword Art. The entire crowd gasped. Using a supreme killer move against a toddler? Changjian gritted his teeth. Toddler, my foot! You have no idea how monstrous this little demon truly is. With an explosive roar, he launched the Rising Sun 9 swords. 9 blinding sword auras formed an inescapable, apocalyptic net of death. Yet, facing this devastating killer strike, the situation was completely different. Linglong remained completely unbothered, her expression perfectly calm. Just as she confidently predicted. Clang! Xiao Yao's tiny hand casually shattered the deadly sword aura into a million scattered pieces. How utterly disappointing. You are much, much weaker than I ever imagined. Boom! With one singular, devastating kick to the face, Chang Jian was sent flying, his front teeth completely shattered. The Supreme Heaven token is finally mine. He. Ding! Crucial divine artifact detected. System check-in location updated. Host must now proceed to check in at the Supreme Heaven's secret realm. See that? Your precious young master Chang Jian is a total, pathetic fraud. His cultivation is painfully weak, and his character is absolute garbage. You were already quite dim-witted. So do not let such trash manipulate you. Shut up. I absolutely do not need your pity. Just you wait. I swear I will make all of you arrogant Jun family elites pay for this humiliation. Wow, your mouth is incredibly lethal. No wonder everyone despises you. I merely state the objective truth. If you get beaten up outside, do not come crying to me. I will not save you. She stood there entirely clueless, aggressively wondering what on earth she did wrong. Time vigorously flies. 7 whole years passed in the mere blink of an eye. We finally arrived. Is this the legendary Jun family domain? It is so incredibly magnificent. If only I could meet that absolutely adorable little prodigy. Meanwhile, deep within the sprawling Jun family estate, the divine child, Jun Xiaoyao, was in deep cultivation. Welcome back, divine child. Please kindly bathe and change into your magnificent formal robes for your 10th birthday banquet. But the grand cultivation chamber was completely empty. Only a crude, rebellious message carved onto the wall. Cultivation is way too boring. I am going outside to play. Signed, Jun Xiaoyao. Oh no, the divine child has escaped. Cut to our glorious protagonist, aggressively devouring spirit fruits elsewhere. During his brutal seclusion, Xiaoyao was forbidden from eating anything but tasteless diet grains, and 10-year-old Xiaoyao absolutely despised those dry grains. Fasting for 10 long days, without a proper luxurious bath, is literal torture. Exactly my point. Wait a minute. Why are you even here? By the Patriarch's strict orders, I am actively hunting down a certain runaway divine child and dragging him straight back. A high-speed rooftop chase immediately commenced. One fleeing, one relentlessly pursuing. Mid-flight, Xiaoyao suddenly heard desperate, agonizing cries for help, echoing loudly from the busy streets below. A massive crowd had gathered to watch the intense drama unfold. A battered youth was being mercilessly collared by an incredibly fierce little girl. Stop crying, you ugly brat. You blatantly dared to break little Kui-Kui's leg first. The arrogant girl's spirit bird dramatically raised its injured leg for emphasis. But I already begged for mercy. Pathetic apologies will not magically heal my spirit bird's broken bones. Ignoring the gasping crowd, the vicious brat demanded bloody, unyielding justice for her beloved pet. A leg for a bloody leg. Since you callously broke my bird's leg, I will absolutely shatter yours. Watching coldly from the roof, Xiaoyao narrowed his eyes. Who is this arrogant little demon causing trouble on my sacred Jun family turf? Talk about courting death. He immediately decided to teach this ferocious brat a brutally harsh lesson. Flicking a freshly eaten fruit pit, he launched it like a deadly supersonic projectile. But surprisingly, the little girl was a highly skilled cultivator. She caught the hidden weapon with shocking ease. Who dares to ambush this mighty lady? Wait a minute. Why is this thing so incredibly slimy and gross? Ew! What kind of absolutely disgusting hidden weapon is this? At that dramatic moment, Xiaoyao majestically descended from the sky, his face entirely shrouded behind a terrifying, domineering demon mask. The enraged girl pointed her finger directly at him. You horrific, ugly monster! How dare you interfere in my business? Do you even know who I am? Whoever angrily calls someone else ugly is the real ugly monster here. Bleh. The fierce girl was so profoundly humiliated, she choked on her own blazing rage, so she violently decided to let her furious fists do the talking. But no matter how fiercely she attacked, She hit absolutely nothing but thin air. Xiao Yao dodged every strike effortlessly, making her fury skyrocket. "Catch me if you can!" The masked boy taunted with infuriating arrogance. His mockery ignited her fiery wrath. Summoning a blade, she chased the ugly ghost-masked freak, desperate to slice him into ribbons. Perched securely on a nearby rooftop, Ling Long watched the entire spectacle unfold. Is that a member of the Qingzhou family? If she truly is their precious young miss, this could spell utter disaster. Should she intervene and stop this clash? But her hesitation vanished instantly. The thrill of watching this dramatic comedy was simply too intoxicating to ignore. Let the chaotic show continue. Meanwhile, the wild chase reached a forest stream. Xiao Yao analyzed his pursuer with sharp eyes. For her to keep pace with my supreme movements, she is definitely no ordinary cultivator. Exhaustion heavily weighed down her small frame, yet her fighting spirit blazed on. If I do not beat you today, I will never yield. Suddenly, vibrant fireworks exploded, stealing their attention completely. Xiao Yao instantly realized the truth. His grand 10th birthday banquet was beginning. He needed to vanish, fast. My apologies, little lady. My schedule is quite packed right now. I have no more time for games. Before Luoli could process his cryptic words, a lightning-fast strike hit her pressure points. Her vision immediately blurred into absolute darkness, freezing her in place before she entirely blacked out. Night fell. Moonlight bathed the magnificent Heaven Emperor Palace. Countless legendary factions from the ancient immortal realm gathered to pay their respects. They came to honor the Jun family's divine son for his 10th birthday. A peerless fairy in white graced the grand hall. She was the divine maiden, possessing the innate Tao fetus, the legendary Jiang Shengyi. Beside her stood the Jiang family's most precious jewel, Jiang Luoli, bearer of the absolute Yuanling Dao body. However, the surrounding elite guests quickly noticed the storm clouds brewing on the little girl's furious face. Are not she and the divine son childhood fiancés? Ah, a typical lover's quarrel between destined prodigies. Modern youths certainly value their romantic freedom. Shengyi turned, delivering a stern lecture to Luoli. Let this be a harsh lesson about sneaking out to cause absolute chaos. If I ever cross paths with that ugly monster again, I will shatter his bones. Are you entirely sure you could even scratch him? Think about it carefully. Who was the one, left securely tied to a forest tree? If his killing intent had been real, you would never have made it back alive. Why are you defending an outsider, sister? You are so infuriating. Suddenly, a refined youth accompanied by an elderly guardian approached to formally greet the sulking Luoli. She stared blankly, her mind completely devoid of his prestigious identity. Who exactly are you? She blurted out. The youth maintained his elegant, scholarly demeanor. I am Ye Xingyun, of the ancient Ye family. Yet, even upon hearing this legendary name, Luoli merely offered a totally lifeless hello and goodbye before walking away. Luoli, your manners are completely atrocious. You know I suffer from severe face blindness, sister. I cannot remember such generic faces. Hearing her brutally honest, soul-crushing assessment, Ye Xingyun's body suddenly trembled violently. The silver-haired elder, sensing his young master's bizarre reaction, immediately voiced his deep concern. Young master, are you unwell? Uncle Fu, being treated like absolute heir by Lady Luoli? It actually feels unbelievably exhilarating. Uncle Fu's jaw dropped, entirely paralyzed by sheer speechless horror. Soon, all the legendary guests were seated in perfect order. Xiao Yao's grandfather, the mighty Jun Zhantian, stepped forward to deliver his grand address. Esteemed guests, who have crossed millions of miles, to celebrate my beloved grandson's birthday, this old man offers his profound gratitude. Today, countless peerless prodigies of our younger generation have gathered. Jun Jian, ranked 10th on the Supreme Power list. Jun Xuehuang, holding the 7th rank. Jun Wanji, securing the 5th position. Furthermore, we are deeply graced by Ye Xingyun, of the ancient Yi family, alongside the Qingzhou Jiang family's twin stars, Jiang Shengyi and Jiang Luoli. Whispers erupted like wildfire among the elite crowd. But where is the divine son? Why has the supreme star not made his entrance yet? Excellent question. I have absolutely no idea where that brat vanished to. Suddenly, a heavy thud echoed through the silent hall, landing right behind the imposing Jun Zhantian. A young boy lounged there with his legs casually crossed, radiating an aura of absolutely overwhelming supreme confidence. I am Jun Xiao Yao, Thank you all for gracing my 10th birthday banquet. His grandfather instantly unleashed a storm of scolding upon him. To be late on such a monumental occasion, Luoli stared intensely at the newly arrived boy. Deep suspicion clawed at her mind. That hairstyle, those exact robes. Why are they so familiar? Wait, is not that the completely repulsive, ghost-masked freak from the forest? She immediately pointed a trembling finger at Xiao Yao, screaming at the top of her lungs inside the sacred palace. He froze. That fierce little demon was actually here? He needed a master-level deception to survive this crisis. Smoothly running a hand through his hair, he unleashed his most devastatingly handsome aura. Beautiful young miss. Have our fates crossed paths before? Luoli's fierce conviction instantly crumbled into absolute doubt. That freak was monstrously ugly. How could he possibly possess the face of this heavenly, adorable young master? Her eyes practically transformed into sparkling stars. 1,000 apologies, divine son. This foolish girl clearly mistook you for someone else. Luoli's fatal weakness had struck again. Show her a cute face, and she becomes complete mush. Xiao Yao's grandfather marched over, delivering a bone-rattling slap to the boy's shoulder. You little rascal, you certainly clean up well, though fate has seemingly introduced you two already. A formal introduction is absolutely mandatory. This is Lady Luoli, the undisputed gem of the Jiang family. She is also your destined fiancée. Despite her tiny frame, she actually outranks you in age by a year. Discovering that this heavenly boy was her promised husband, Luoli's face instantly exploded in crimson, bashful heat. Meanwhile, Ye Xingyun suffered a devastating critical hit to his soul. His supreme goddess was already bound to another man. Xiao Yao's mind raced with apocalyptic dread. How did this nightmare happen? I am the unparalleled divine son. How am I still trapped in a cliché-arranged marriage? The solution was crystal clear. He just needed to make this girl thoroughly despise him. He prepared to confess his identity as the masked freak. But before he could utter a single word, she eagerly thrust a priceless treasure into his hands. This is a divine elixir forged from the ageless spring. Consume it quickly to preserve your current heavenly face. Please, never grow up. Otherwise you will lose this supreme cuteness. Xiao Yao broke into a cold sweat. This girl's delusion is terminal. I must sever this ridiculous engagement immediately. Scanning the vast crowd, his eyes locked onto his soul's salvation. Only one woman could rescue him from this terrifying fate. His personal maid, the cunning Linglong. Xiao Yao frantically launched a series of secret hand signals. Step forward right now. Claim we have pledged our lives to each other. Name your price, I will pay anything. To see the notoriously stingy divine son offering a blank check was truly a historical miracle. Yet, without a single second of hesitation, she firmly crossed her arms over her chest. Her rejection was absolute. I actually plan on leaving this hall alive, thank you. You are my servant. You must obey my supreme orders. Apologies, kid. I officially resign. Damn it all. You just want front-row seats to my absolute suffering, do you not? Oblivious to his inner turmoil, the elite guests swarmed in with praises. A match forged by the heavens. True dragons among humanity. A destined supreme union. Suddenly, a palm slammed violently against a jade table. I completely reject this absolute farce of a marriage. It was Ye Xingyun of the ancient Ye family. Witnessing this dramatic interference, Xiao Yao almost wept tears of supreme joy. The youth fiercely declared he would never accept such a cursed union. Young master, do not court death here. Uncle Fu, I will not stand down? Ye Xingyun's reckless provocation struck a nerve. Jun Zhantian's aura flared with immense annoyance. Since when do outsiders dare meddle in our Jun family's sacred marital affairs? But Xiao Yao calmly intervened, signaling his grandfather to step back. Grandfather, please quell your divine wrath. Let me handle this. Xiao Yao's gaze then locked onto Ye Xingyun. If you want to play the ancient bride-snatching hero, you first need the overwhelming power to back it up. Oh? Is the Jun family's divine heir daring to duel me? Xiao Yao smirked, his supreme arrogance blazing. Why not? I fear absolutely no one. The ultimate clash was officially set. The Jun family's divine son versus the Ye family's pride. They were actually going to fight. The crowd buzzed with overwhelming excitement. The grand backyard of the banquet hall became their battleground, with Uncle Fu stepping up as the grand referee. The moment the death match officially began, Ye Xingyun instantly unleashed his devastating ultimate technique, the chaotic star finger. The surrounding cultivators gasped in absolute awe. The Yi family's legendary Star King physique truly lived up to its terrifying divine reputation. However, Xiao Yao evaded every single lethal strike with ghostly perfection. Within mere moments, Yi Xingyun was left gasping for air, his divine energy draining fast. Is this a joke? How is he dodging my supreme attacks? To the ignorant crowd, it looked like Xiao Yao was desperately barely surviving the onslaught. But the horrifying reality? Yi Xingyun could not even touch the hem of his pristine robes. Furthermore, with his beloved crush intensely watching, Yi Xingyun utterly refused to show weakness before his absolute rival. He absolutely could not lose face in front of the enchanting Lady Luoli. Suddenly, a terrifying ancient mark upon his forehead, ignited with blinding brilliance, erupting with an unimaginably overwhelming aura. This was the ancient Ye family's supreme forbidden art, the Star True Body. Standing opposite to this monstrous power, Xiao Yao finally sensed a slight shift in the battlefield's energy. Ye Xingyun roared with absolute bloodlust. Let me see you dodge this. Devouring star black hole palm. If this catastrophic clash continued, Xiao Yao's invincible body might actually get torn to bloody shreds by the sheer impact. Unfazed, he instantly summoned the legendary divine elephant suppressing prison force, colliding head-on with the black hole palm. Watching from the terrified crowd, Jiang Shengyi gasped in utter shock. That pure golden aura. It is the legendary ancient sacred body. No wonder his birth triggered the 10,000 Saints pilgrimage phenomenon 10 years ago. But wait, do the ancient rumors not say that the ancient sacred body has been cursed into a useless trash physique? Heavens, the Jun family must have burned astronomical divine resources to help this monster shatter the absolute chains of the heavenly Tao. Meanwhile, the death match reached an earth-shattering climax. Both youths were peerless, heaven-defying geniuses of the immortal realm. Suddenly, defying all logic, Xiao Yao violently coughed up golden blood in mid-air and plummeted to the earth, leaving the audience in absolute dead silence. Uncle Fu desperately rushed forward to inspect his young master. Heavens, how could you strike him so ruthlessly? Against a mere 10-year-old child? No, Uncle Fu. I swear I did not even land a scratch. Yi Xingyun panicked, remembering with terrifying clarity that mid-clash, Xiao Yao had actually flashed him a sinister, mocking smile. He even winked at him. This monstrous brat had definitely thrown the divine match on purpose. Uncle Fu, please do not blame young Master Ye. Xiao Yao coughed weakly. I recklessly demanded this heavenly duel. His divine cultivation is simply unparalleled and supreme. I have thoroughly lost. As everyone knows, my ancient sacred body is basically a cursed, useless physique. I dare not ruin Lady Jiang's boundless future. Therefore, this holy marital engagement must be completely annulled today. But the clever Jiang Luoli saw right through his supreme bullshit. This magnificent bastard simply wanted to get rid of her. Furious yet desperate, the young goddess immediately charged forward, firmly grasping onto Xiao Yao's arm. Even if your ancient sacred body is forever cursed as utter trash, Luoli will absolutely never abandon her beloved Xiao Yao. He internally groaned. You are clearly older than me. Why must you insist on calling me your big brother? Stay far away from me. The crowd watched with intense, blazing jealousy. Damn his supreme luck. Born into the absolute main branch, favored by heavenly fate itself. We mere mortals bleed for centuries to grasp what he effortlessly possesses from his very first breath. Wait, what is this weak aura? Is this incredibly pathetic display truly the legendary ancient sacred body? A disgustingly arrogant voice suddenly echoed, instantly shattering the banquet's joyous harmony. Atop the magnificent celestial roof, mysterious demonic figures with terrifying wings and horns materialized. You cannot even crush a pathetic bug, yet you dare claim the supreme human sacred body? Shockingly, the disgraced Lan Qingya was actually standing amongst these monstrous intruders. Lan Qingya, are you playing some absolute joke on this supreme master? I personally came because I heard this so-called ancient sacred body had spectacularly shattered the heavenly Tao's ultimate chains. That is exactly why I descended here. Flashback to months prior. Deep within the terrifying ancestral dragon nest, the absolute stronghold of the immemorial dragon race, a massive, chaotic, demonic feast was underway, overflowing with supreme beastly joy. Absolute congratulations to our invincible dragon son for perfectly assimilating the divine dragon essence Any mortal trash would have been instantly ripped to bloody shreds. Only our supreme dragon son possesses the heaven-defying physique to flawlessly refine. A single core. One core is nothing. My legendary elder brother devoured 3 entire cores ages ago. This arrogant, white-haired demon was none other than 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅, the terrifying dragon son. Sooner or later, my supreme power will also rival my monstrous elder brother's might. May the dragon son achieve ultimate divine supremacy. Wait, senior brother G. What exactly is a supreme dragon essence? Are you absolutely ignorant? The dragon essence is the absolute purest bloodline vitality, left behind when the legendary dragon supreme vanished from the mortal realm. It holds heaven-defying innate magical arts and indestructible ancient runes. It is a peerless, mythological treasure unmatched in all the 9 divine heavens. That terrifying? Could we mere mortals absorb its holy power? In your absolute dreams, even a single microscopic drop would violently detonate your pathetic body into bloody mist. Suddenly, a tremendously arrogant, mocking voice echoed through the grand cavern. You dare act so smug over a measly single dragon essence, while completely ignorant that the neighboring June family birthed an absolute monster, worshipped by 10,000 ancient saints. Utterly pathetic. Enraged, a massive demonic brute immediately roared and stood up. Who dares spout such blasphemous nonsense in our sacred domain? Instantly, the bruised 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅 was violently hurled right to 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅's feet. I was wondering who possessed such an outrageously massive ego. A pathetic, insignificant human dares to act arrogantly inside the supreme ancestral dragon nest. Dragon son, let us violently boil this trash as a divine drinking snack. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅's terrifying eyes narrowed. Wait, what June family nonsense did you just spout? The ancestral dragon nest holds a blood feud with the legendary June family. It seems destiny brought me to the perfect slaughterhouse. Does the supreme dragon son truly not know? Their newly birthed divine heir possesses the forbidden ancient sacred body. Countless almighty. Factions across the entire desolate heaven immortal realm are currently gathering for his grand 10th birthday banquet. The ancient sacred body was indeed a mythic treasure eras ago. But in this modern age of cultivation, it is nothing but utterly cursed, useless trash. How could the supreme June family possibly value such pathetic garbage? Listen closely. The sacred body devolved into absolute trash solely because it was heavily cursed by the unbreakable chains of the heavenly Tao itself. But what if this monster has actually shattered those absolute divine chains, burning with intense desire to personally crush this so-called legend that 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅 hyped up? 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅 and his terrifying demonic crew unceremoniously crashed the June family's holy banquet. Meanwhile, 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅 lay brutally crippled by 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅's devastating kick, hastily dragged away by Linglong for emergency healing. Xiaoyao's eyes turned terrifyingly cold as he faced the arrogant dragon son, trespassing into my ultimate June family territory and openly, violently assaulting my disciples. You are courting absolute death. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅 let out an ear-piercing, arrogant sneer, pointing his demonic finger at the bleeding 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅. That pathetic little mortal trash is merely my loyal dog. I hold absolute authority to torture my maidservant however I spectacularly please. Hearing this ultimate humiliation, 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒅 ground her teeth until blood almost seeped out, yet suppressing her boundless, burning hatred. She actually forced a sickeningly sweet smile. Indeed, I am the supreme dragon son's humble servant. Xiaoyao scoffed in pure disbelief. Abandoning your prestigious young miss status just to lick a pathetic little lizard's boots? Are you some legendary, absolutely deranged dragon fanatic? The two dragons froze, massive question marks practically manifesting above their scaly heads. What kind of incomprehensible modern slang was this monster using? Xiaoyao smoothly waved Linglong away. Retreat for now. I will completely obliterate this trash myself. My honorable grandfather constantly warned me that our blood feud with your pathetic dragons runs deep, especially since my legendary father, Jun Wuhui, utterly decimated and literally ripped the tendons off your so-called invincible dragon supreme. Since that absolute slaughter, your entire species has eternally branded our Jun family as absolute, unforgivable arch-nemeses. If you truly possess the balls to seek vengeance, you should have aimed your pathetic fury directly at me. Bullying a weak woman, your absolute cowardice is disgustingly low class. You lack the majesty of a true dragon. You act like utterly pathetic trash. No wonder your entire dying race gets constantly humiliated. The dragon son's aura explosively erupted. Insolent little human, you absolutely dare to insult my supreme lineage? The dragon prince's servants lunged forward, but in a mere heartbeat, they were ruthlessly sent flying back. The ones who intercepted them were two young, formidable disciples. They belonged to the legendary Jun family. This is our territory. Trash like you dare cause a scene? Jun Changjian gritted his teeth, realizing he had invited this disaster. I brought Lan Qingye here. I need to fix this fast, or the elders will punish me. Beside him stood Jun Shuihuang. The white-haired maiden was another elite prodigy, ranked 10th and 7th among the family's young dragons. Those servants were from the archaic royal family, yet they couldn't withstand even a single casual strike. Their power is absolutely terrifying. If the lower ranks are this monstrous, what about the top 5? As expected of the desolate ancient family's unfathomable foundation, Hao Tian's eyes blazed with fury. Don't get cocky, humans. Spiritual energy surged violently into his palm, as he unleashed a devastating blast toward Jun Changjian. The dragon-severing hand. Changjian was completely overwhelmed and instantly blown away. Without missing a beat, Hao Tian locked his deadly gaze onto Jun Shuihuang. His speed was godlike. She had absolutely zero time to dodge. But suddenly, bam! A hand clamped down on the dragon's claw like an unbreakable vice. Her savior in this desperate moment was none other than Jun Xiaoyao. With a sickening crunch, he crushed Hao Tian's wrist. The sheer, overwhelming force shattered the pure steel bracer into countless jagged pieces. A groan of agony escaped his lips, right before a brutal punch smashed his face in. Wiping the blood, Hao Tian burst into maniacal laughter. Yes, this is it! The true desolate ancient sacred body that shattered heaven's chains. Xiaoyao didn't even look back. Cousins, step aside. He came here for me. Fall back, and give us space. Today is my 10th birthday. I'll use this little scuffle as entertainment for our honored guests. Suddenly, both figures vanished into thin air. The real battle had begun. In a fraction of a second, they exchanged hundreds of deadly blows. Their speed defied logic, leaving only afterimages as they clashed fiercely across the war-torn sky. I can't even track their movements. No wonder I couldn't land a hit on him earlier. Young master, keep your eyes peeled. Watch this closely. This is a peak-era battle. These aren't just prodigies. They are absolute monsters, and you're witnessing their terrifying might. On one side, Hao Tian unleashed his apocalyptic dragon fist. Xiaoyao countered instantly with the human king seal. The two divine techniques collided, triggering an earth-shattering explosion that ripped through the clouds. Devastating shockwaves swept across the arena. To protect the terrified guests, Grandpa Jun Zhantian summoned a massive spiritual barrier. These brats. They pack quite a punch. You seem to be enjoying this. Xiaoyao smirked. Weren't you here for revenge? To hell with ancestral grudges, Hao Tian roared. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. To fight the human who broke the heavenly chains. How could my blood not boil? Show me the might of the ancient sacred body, Jun Xiaoyao. Take my ultimate strike, true dragon trap's immortal art. The heavens roared as a colossal dragon phantom materialized, exuding a primordial pressure that suppressed the ages. Yet, facing this cataclysmic threat, Xiaoyao remained perfectly calm. His fingers blurred through hand seals. If my opponent goes all out, it's only polite to return the favor. I'll give you exactly what you're dying to see. Jun Zhantian's eyes widened as he recognized Xiaoyao's stance. Could it be? The Grand Mystery Classic? The family's supreme secret art? Using the Grand Mystery to control qi. Condensing ethereal blades into divine weapons. Instantly, 10,000 glowing swords manifested around Xiaoyao, lighting up the darkened sky. 10,000 swords return to origin. It's the weapon-subduing art. They say at peak mastery, it can forge infinite divine blades to cleave heaven and earth. Slash, Xiaoyao's cold voice echoed. The tempest of swords pierced the giant dragon, instantly obliterating its colossal form into scattered spiritual dust. Without pausing, he directed the endless rain of blades straight at Hao Tian. As the thick smoke finally cleared, the dragon prince was still standing. But a second later, his knees gave out. He crashed heavily onto the ground. The victor had been decided. Hao Tian, of the archaic dragon clan, was utterly crushed by Jun Xiaoyao of the immortal realm, worthy of the divine son title, a true heaven-born genius. Congratulations to the Jun family. But just as Xiao Yao turned his back, a chilling aura flared up behind him. Hao Tian launched a desperate, venomous sneak attack. A singular, maddening thought echoed in his mind. You are the Dragon Prince. You cannot lose. You absolutely cannot lose to them. Despite the cowardly ambush, Xiao Yao remained completely unfazed. Only his sleeve was torn. Meanwhile, the supposedly unbreakable, razor-sharp claws of Hao Tian snapped like brittle twigs. Xiao Yao spun around, delivering a brutal kick to his head. But suddenly, a terrifying surge of spiritual energy exploded from Hao Tian, pushing him back. This dragon brat. He's burning his dragon essence to force a breakthrough to the divine bridge realm. This will completely destroy his foundation. It's pure suicide. Why go this far? Hao Tian had completely lost his mind. His eyes glowed with unnatural madness as he charged at Xiao Yao, willing to kill at any cost. But the main character sensed something was terribly wrong. His piercing gaze quickly noticed the anomaly. Hao Tian's body was bound by near-invisible threads of spiritual energy. He was acting like a puppet. Someone is secretly controlling him, and that coward is hiding in the sky above us. Stop hiding your tail. Show yourself right now. Idol of the underworld god, spear of the underworld. A blinding pillar of light pierced the heavens. Hidden within it was a divine spear crackling with apocalyptic lightning. But before the terrifying spear could strike its target, an unseen force shattered it completely. This impossible sight sent a shockwave through Xiao Yao's mind. In that split second of distraction, Hao Tian lunged and grabbed him in a death grip. Snap out of it, Xiao Yao roared. A pathetic puppet calling himself the Dragon Prince. Wake the hell up. Bam! A brutal headbutt. Ding. 10th birthday banquet detected. Does the host wish to check in? I almost forgot. Check in immediately. Check in successful. Congratulations! Host has acquired the 7-star Supreme Bone, ranked 3rd among the 3,000 ultimate physiques. The wielder can bypass all limits to unleash. Supreme Divine Arts. Unlocked. Supreme Divine Art. Heaven's Tribulation Light. Instantly, a holy pillar of blinding radiance erupted from Xiao Yao's body, piercing through the atmosphere. Heavens above. Is that the legendary Supreme Bone? A born Supreme Being. The Jun family's bloodline is terrifying. Since when did this monster possess a Supreme Bone? Even his grandfather was stunned. To be called a Supreme meant standing at the absolute pinnacle of the desolate ancient immortal realm. It was an immortal existence. Slowly, Xiao Yao raised his head toward the heavens. His glowing eyes locked onto a massive phantom hiding behind the clouds. A colossal black dragon glaring down at them. A Dragon Clan Supreme. Everything finally clicked. Too proud to strike personally. So you turned him into a puppet? I've heard the rumors. My father, a mere Saint Realm stripping a Dragon Supreme's tendons? Today, I, Jun Xiao Yao, shall inherit my family's supreme legacy. I will completely obliterate you. You cowardly little loach hiding in the shadows. Blinding divine light illuminated the void. The Supreme Bone's first great divine ability awakened. The Heaven's Tribulation Light pierced the firmament, descending like azure heaven's apocalyptic lightning strike, crashing directly into that black dragon's skull. This light is incinerating my armor. How can a mere human brat force my true form out? It was the underworld dragon supreme from the ancestral dragon nest. No wonder that Dragon Prince dared to challenge the Jun family. He had a supreme guarding his back. Unbelievable. With just true spirit realm cultivation, the Jun family's divine child actually forced a mighty Dragon Clan Supreme to reveal his true form. You coward. You finally showed your ugly face. Jun Family Jr., your arrogant courage is commendable. But today's matters shall end right here. You came to the Jun family to challenge me, used despicable tricks to target me, and now you speak so lightly? Did you really think that would make me stop? Human brat, what exactly do you want? Was I not clear enough? Today, following my father's footsteps, I shall slaughter you, you overgrown black lizard. Audacious, the underworld dragon supreme, instantly roared, his furious cry shaking the very firmament. A terrifying, colossal aura rapidly crashed down upon everyone present in the Jun family estate. Yi, Xingyun of the Yi family could not withstand the pressure and dropped to his knees. Even Jun Changjian was no exception. Only Xiao Yao stood firm as a mountain, his absolute composure completely unfazed. A pathetic true spirit realm brat can withstand my supreme aura? At this moment, Jun Wanjie channeled his lightning tribulation, preparing to strike. However, Jun Zhantian suddenly intercepted Jun Wanji. leaving him utterly bewildered. Abruptly, a bone-chilling snort echoed through the air. Since when did a measly supreme dare to act so arrogantly before our June family? Hearing this ancient voice, the underworld dragon supreme turned deathly pale. It is over! Before he could react, a devastating sword aura slashed directly into the colossal black dragon. The underworld dragon supreme roared in agonizing pain. One of his massive arms was cleanly severed by the blade. It crashed into the earth, creating absolute chaos. Witnessing this, everyone gasped, sucking in breaths of cold air in silent terror. A supreme's arm was chopped off just like that? Meanwhile, Long Hao Tian found his neck crushed by an iron grip. You could have taken this brat and left safely. But you chose to attack Xiao Yao. That overwhelming presence belonged to none other than the 18th ancestor of the immortal realms. June family. Seeing the June family ancestor manifest, the underworld dragon supreme began to panic. June 18th. Stop your hand at once. Are you really trying to kill him? The ancestor's eyes were terrifyingly cold. Not just him, you as well. Since you dared to come, leave your lives here. Xiao Yao heard this and looked alarmed, stepping forward to stop the ancestor. But before a single word could escape his lips, Long Hao Tian's neck was effortlessly crushed to paste. You absolute lunatic. Do you wish to ignite an immortal war between the June family and the ancestral dragon nest? An immortal war? So what? In all our eons dominating the immortal realm, who has our June family ever feared? Immortal slaughtering sword art. First strike, dragon severing. A blinding flash, carrying world-destroying, heaven-annihilating power, instantly pierced through the underworld dragon supreme's body. The black dragon's colossal corpse plummeted downward, devastating the majestic courtyards. And just like that, an invincible, Dragon Clan Supreme had perished during Xiao Yao's 10-year-old birthday banquet. Zhan Tian, are you present? Yes, ancestor. Roast this black dragon and serve it to our honored guests. The flesh and blood of a dragon supreme. For us to eat? If we eat, we fatally offend the ancestral dragon nest. If we refuse, we disrespect the June family. What do we do? Everyone here surely knows our Jun family's ranking of 10 peerless prodigies. But above those 10, there sits another absolute throne. The unparalleled blade that decapitated the ancestral dragon nest's prince and withstood the underworld dragon quasi-supreme. Divine child Jun Xiao Yao is our June family's newly crowned Sequence 0. It is exactly as expected. After all, he harbors the supreme bone and shattered the ancient sacred body's cursed chains. A true spirit realm forcing a quasi-supreme to reveal his true form. In this entire world, who else could achieve such a feat? Moreover, the desolate ancient immortal realm's last great emperor also hailed from the Jun family. I fear the Jun family is forging another era-defining great emperor. Suddenly, the Jun family ancestor noticed Xiao Yao glaring at him with a gaze full of grievances. Does he care that much about this Dragon Clan brat? Thus, the ancestor immediately casually tossed Long Hao Tian's corpse down without a single wasted movement. The body hit the dirt with a heavy thud. This brat's body contains unrefined dragon essence. Extract it and perfectly absorb it for yourself. It will grant you unfathomable benefits. Come see me after the banquet concludes. Standing before Long Hao Tian's mangled corpse, Xiao Yao was left utterly speechless. He was a person. Wait, a dragon. And the ancestor just tossed him like literal garbage? Very soon, the crowd gathered in the courtyard, lighting fires to aggressively roast the black dragon meat. Luo, Li, do you want a taste of this dragon meat? No, I do not. It looks terrifying. Young master, this is dragon supreme flesh. Please, you must eat it. Dragon meat is a supreme treasure that practically guarantees massive cultivation breakthroughs. Meanwhile, in another location, Jun Wanji sought out Jun Zhantian for a private audience. Clan Elder, this disciple's heart harbors a burning question. You wish to ask if Xiao Yao will participate in the sequence ranking battles, correct? Is not the Sequence 0 title something the 18th ancestor unilaterally decreed the moment he was born? I know. Perhaps this seems deeply unfair to the rest of you geniuses. Therefore, you are permitted to challenge his supreme rank at any given moment. However, this is the only matter the ancestor will strictly not interfere with. This disciple was impolite. I have other matters to attend to. Farewell, Elder. Though this kid speaks out of turn, he is far from a fool. If he fought Xiao Yao now, the Jun family would lose immense face. Ah! Wait! Where did that brat run off to? Reporting to the elder, the divine child went to refine the dragon essence. According to his overwhelming aura, the divine child might directly shatter his bottleneck and forge the divine bridge within. From true spirit to divine bridge. This is an absolutely monstrous leap in power. No, we must find him immediately. At this very moment, Xiao Yao sat deep in contemplation on the top floor of the Heavenly Emperor Palace. Behind him, Linglong hesitated, asking, "Is that Long Haoshan's corpse?" Xiao Yao simply handed Linglong a carved wooden box. "Burn it and bury the ashes for me. You seem somewhat depressed, my lord. In your eyes, should I be celebrating, bringing supreme glory to the clan? Indeed, I suppose I should be thrilled. But life is truly so brutally cheap in this world of endless cultivation conflicts. The strong devour the weak. If he dared provoke the Jun family, he inherently prepared himself to forfeit his life. Why does the divine child let this weigh on his heart? Big fish eating, the small ones. Then what separates cultivators from wild beasts? As expected, your transcendent mindset is vastly different from ordinary mortals. If you are dissatisfied with this cruel world's absolute laws, then there is only one path. Become the supreme of supremes, the sole great emperor of the entire cosmos. Only then will you possess the absolute authority to rewrite destiny's laws. Ha ha ha! Linglong, you are absolutely right. Whether it is my reincarnation or my cheat system, obtaining these heavens-defying powers must serve an ultimate purpose. Above and below the heavens, I alone am the honored one. Across the 3,000 worlds, only I, Jun Xiao Yao, shall reign as the absolute great emperor of this reality. Xiao Yao's heaven-shaking, majestic declaration left Linglong's heart trembling with unparalleled awe. A shocking vision suddenly flashed before her eyes. There, Linglong stood beside a majestic figure draped in white, while countless masses kneeled below. They bowed like the most devout believers. The heavenly emperor Xiao Yao ruling the cosmos, unmatched across eternity. But in a mere heartbeat, the phantom image shattered. Was that the destiny revealed by her seven-apertured exquisite heart? "What is wrong? You look pale," he asked. "I am fine, divine son. Please, begin your absorption. Once I devour this dragon essence, my breakthrough is absolutely guaranteed. But the ancient sacred body awakening always summons heavenly retribution. Leave this area immediately. Do not get caught in the heavenly wrath, and fetch me fresh robes." "Understood, my lord." Suddenly, roaring thunder tore through the heavens. The apocalyptic tribulation clouds gathered. Xiao Yao instantly summoned a mystical furnace. It expanded massively, violently devouring the 9-tiered heavenly lightning. Behold the legendary might of the god elephant prison-suppressing demonic art. This divine technique holds 4 legendary transformations: the ultimate piercing strike that shatters all creation, the spear of the underworld; the absolute impenetrable defense, the aegis of the underworld; the supreme tempest speed, wings of the dark demon; and the ultimate cosmic refiner, the hell furnace. 100,000 lightning bolts shall forge my invincible sacred flesh. Golden aura erupted. The Jun family divine son is facing the ancient sacred body tribulation. At just 10 years old, Xiao Yao transformed into a muscular youth. Unbelievable power. He literally shattered the tribulation clouds. Which genius does not tremble in fear facing heavenly wrath? This entire era will become the personal stage, belonging entirely to the Jun clan divine son. His Dantian forged the spirit sea. His mind constructed the divine palace. His mortal shell evolved into a true spirit. Once these 3 realms align, he will construct the internal divine bridge, linking his supreme body and soul. Just a tiny fraction left to fully manifest this celestial bridge. The supreme bone greedily devoured most of the celestial lightning and dragon energy. I must hunt down supreme earthly treasures to perfectly nourish it. My lord, your garments. After the grand banquet concludes, I shall leave the heavenly palace. It is time to conquer the outside world. Find me worthy battlegrounds. Now, I must visit the ancestor. Meanwhile, at the primordial dragon nest, what catastrophic event could push their supreme sovereign into such a blistering rage? That absolute maniac, June 18. He dared to slaughter my royal dragon heir. And he even slashed the nether dragon. Does he think our sacred nest is a mere joke? June 18 is the legendary madman of their clan. Revenge is nearly impossible. If he slaughters our heir, then we shall butcher their precious divine son. Should we alert Aotean about this blood feud? No. Aotean is in absolute seclusion, absorbing his fifth dragon essence. Once he fully assimilates all seven, combined with the Emperor Dragon Blood, he will conquer the immortal realm. By then, squashing the Jun clan Golden Boy will be effortless. The Jun family will pay in blood. Young master, how is your spirit holding up? That monster possesses two supreme cheat abilities, the ancient sacred body and the legendary supreme bone. His cultivation realm infinitely eclipses mine. Yet, he showed zero arrogance, treating me with absolute grace. I truly am nothing but worthless trash. However, I refuse to break. I will never completely give up. I simply lack the qualifications to be a stepping stone on his path to emperorship. Some battles in life must be fought alone. Finding that inner peace is a true blessing, young master. Back at the Jun clan ancestral domain. Greetings, 18th ancestor. You summoned me? Excellent. What a monstrous aura. You truly possess the overwhelming presence of Heavenly Emperor Xiaoyao. Tell me, boy, what kind of ultimate ruler would you be? If I take the throne, I would dominate the era. I would obliterate every enemy breathing in this universe. But honestly, that sounds incredibly boring. Any basic heavenly emperor since the ancient times has easily done that. If I rule, I will forge a reality that shakes eternity. A modern era defying all mortal imagination. A world powered by smartphones and blessed with Wi-Fi signals. An age of steel reigning over the streets, where humanity grasps the very stars. How profoundly fascinating. Xiaoyao, do you wish to master the immortal slaughtering sword art? The exact same technique that one-shot the Nether Dragon Supreme. The sword is the undisputed king of weapons. The desolate heaven immortal realm holds countless techniques, but the absolute peak exists only as the five great divine arts. Our clan immortal slaughtering sword art stands proudly among them. Unfortunately, its heaven-defying power comes with an impossibly brutal learning curve. This legendary skill violently rejects all ordinary cultivators. It strictly prevents untalented fools from blindly wasting decades, only to never even scratch the surface of mastery. Since you are about to conquer the outside world, this is your ultimate trump card. I deeply thank you, ancestor. This lethal art contains exactly three forms. First, Immortal Fall, a physical sword force designed to annihilate flesh. Second, Immortal Extinction, a spiritual blade targeting the divine soul. It completely shreds the primordial spirit. Finally, Immortal Slaughter, the ultimate unity of flesh, soul, and steel. The exact strike I used to butcher the Nether Dragon. Master the first form, and your worldly conquest officially begins. From now on, you must crush your own obstacles. Do not rely on this old man to wipe out your enemies. Your absolute will is my command, ancestor. 3 months later, within the Heavenly Emperor Treasury, the mountain of endless tributes from the Divine Son 10th birthday banquet has finally been fully categorized. As expected of the 7-apertured exquisite heart, it would take us half a year to finish this. Lady Linglong is essentially the ultimate grandmaster, rather than just a personal maid. Suddenly, a letter arrived. My dear friend Linglong, my royal father is dying. We missed the Divine Son 10th birthday. The Jun clan is the supreme ancient lineage. I beg you, grant us the undying flame to revive my king. Save billions of souls in the Vermilion Bird ancient kingdom. Wait, this letter was not written for the Divine Son. It was meant directly for me. Boom! An apocalyptic sword wave erupted from the ancestral land. Has the Divine Son shattered his seclusion? That is the immortal slaughtering sword art. Is it the 18th ancestor? No, wait. This domineering aura belongs to Xiaoyao. In merely 3 months, that demonic brat mastered it? What kind of ungodly anomaly is he? Ancestor, does my immortal fall strike meet your legendary standards? Damn it, it took this old man a full year just to grasp it. Go now. Descend and forge an era entirely your own. At last, the cage opens. Time to conquer the mortal realm. I wonder if little Linglong found a worthy battlefield for me. Ah, wait. I must bid a proper farewell to Grandpa first. Were you looking for me, boy? Grandpa? Why do you pop out of nowhere just like Linglong? You casually unleashed a world-ending shockwave. Did you seriously expect me to ignore that? Mastered the immortal slaughtering sword already? Only the first strike, sadly. You absolute little monster. I watched you grow up from a baby. Yet I completely missed that you harbored a legendary supreme bone. To be brutally honest, Grandpa, I just discovered it myself. Let us just say your grandson thrives under apocalyptic pressure. Let us skip the idle chatter. Having two supreme cultivation physiques in one body requires double the effort, especially the legendary desolate ancient sacred body. At your birth, the vision of 10,000 saints bowing manifested. Yet, 5 divine visions remain dormant. You must awaken them yourself. However, I know a place to awaken your second sacred body vision. Grandfather, please tell me. Wait, why does this setup feel so completely familiar? Enough messing around. Have you ever heard of the MANHWA divine dynasty? Is it not an immortal, supreme divine empire? Exactly. Founded by the legendary MANHWA great emperor. But that is trivial. Our Jun family has birthed our own peerless emperor. What matters is the MANHWA emperor also possessed the desolate ancient sacred body. Rumor says deep within their imperial palace lies the MANHWA mausoleum. It holds the emperor's ancient legacy. But surely they will not let outsiders waltz into their secret realm? True. But if negotiations fail, for your absolute future, forcing our way in is completely acceptable. The Jun family's overbearing dominance truly runs deep in our blood. I will keep that in mind. I shall visit this MANHWA mausoleum. Ding. Host, your sign-in locations have refreshed. 2 new epic coordinates unlocked. The Prime Heaven Supreme Secret Realm and the MANHWA mausoleum. I cannot visit both immediately. Suddenly, Xiaoyao noticed Linglong, standing completely alone in the courtyard. You are not waiting for me, are you? As your absolute servant, it is my sworn duty. You are making me cringe. Just speak your mind. Divine Son, this servant humbly begs a supreme favor. Did I not tell you to stop randomly kneeling before me? Forget it. Let me see. The vermilion bird ancient country? An elixir of immortality? I have plenty of those. I can spare 1 pill. Ding. New sign-in location confirmed. Please proceed to the Vermilion Bird Imperial Palace. 3,000 fire provinces. Vermilion Bird Royal City. Behold the dying Vermilion Bird King. You heir. Even immortal medicine cannot save me now. Stop torturing yourself. Father, rest easy. I found a supreme lead. I will absolutely cure you. Vermilion Bird Royal Princess, by you heir. Your Majesty, the Azure Dragon Crown Prince awaits in the hall. Cough. That arrogant bastard. Throw him out. Father, calm your blazing anger. I will handle him. Long time no see. Forgive my lack of hospitality, Crown Prince. You, why the freezing cold shoulder between us? Just a few days apart, and you look so utterly exhausted. Azure Dragon Crown Prince, Xiao Chen. On our glorious wedding day, my empire will present the divine elixir as a betrothal gift. Is your Azure Dragon country truly that generous? Despicable. His Majesty was clearly poisoned, exploring the secret realm with their absolute ruler. Now they use this to force a political marriage. How dare Xiao Chen act so deeply devoted in front of Her Highness? Keep your voice down, Achu. The walls have ears. I am just enraged on her behalf. If this cursed marriage happens, our Vermilion Bird country will become their absolute puppet. Our ancestors' glorious legacy will be ruthlessly devoured, completely swallowed by the Azure Dragon. Is there truly no way to shatter this dark destiny? Your Highness! Urgent report. A letter from the Jun family. Hand it over immediately. Yes, Your Highness. Thank the heavens. It is from Linglong. Father is saved. Meanwhile, at the Jun family Heavenly Emperor Palace, this beast lacks absolute aura. The other one was acceptable. Lady Linglong. What is the Divine Son doing? Jun family Supreme Protector, Granny Hua. He is choosing his mount for the Fire Province. With his supreme status, he deserves the 9 Dragons Imperial Chariot. Why pick from these ordinary beasts? He just prefers keeping a low profile. Linglong claimed she would give anything for her country. Does that mean her entire empire will submit to me? Become my absolute vassals? Every Jun family heir requires powerful backing. The Vermilion Bird country may have declined, but they hold supreme value. Especially their royal princess, Bai Yu heir. The Vermilion Bird flower goddess and a child of destiny. You are not just begging for your sister, right, Linglong? I would absolutely never. My loyalty belongs entirely to the Divine Son. I could not watch outsiders deceive you. Cut the act. I am just teasing. However, I demand total absolute submission. Whether the Vermilion Bird country deserves my divine elixir, I must judge them with my own piercing eyes. The Divine Son operates on a supreme plane. The glorious future I foresaw will surely manifest. Little Ling, Come here. We are riding this beast too. The Fire Province. This one has divine beast potential. Wait, did I misjudge his absolute aura? How can this goofy kid become the eternal suppressing heavenly emperor? Oh, right, divine son, before we depart, there is one final matter requiring your absolute judgment. Speak. What is it? It is 𝒂𝒂𝒓𝒔. I locked her in the pitch-dark dungeon. The elders left her ultimate fate in your hands. That noisy brat? How should I punish her? Conspiring with outsiders to harm the Jun family. According to ancestral law, she must be utterly destroyed. Crucify her limbs to the wooden pillar. Let the scorching sun drain her life force. What a primitive, barbaric punishment. Linglong, bring me paper and a brush. Using my full name? He is serious. With me in the Jun family, an emperor will surely rise. These are the absolute words of a future sovereign. Every academy student will memorize this divine text. As for a foolish girl like 𝒂𝒂💔, the first absolute decree of heavenly Emperor Jun, to slaughter without teaching is mere tyrannical cruelty. Inside the suffocating darkness of the Jun family dungeon. You finally came, Jun Linglong? I have one absolute request. Give me a quick, painless death. I am only here to deliver the Divine Son's absolute judgment. 𝒂𝒂💔, you betrayed our supreme bloodline. The Divine Son commands you to kneel outside the Heavenly Emperor Palace for an entire year. No matter what happens, you cannot move. After 1 year, your karma is severed. You will be totally banished. The Jun family will erase you from their supreme memory. If you still harbor hatred for the Divine Son, cultivate your strength and challenge his absolute might. He welcomes any supreme challenger. But if you remain utterly unrepentant and scheme with outsiders again, he will obliterate whatever supreme faction backs you. And then, he will personally extinguish your mortal soul. That brat is still way too soft-hearted. Soft? No. In an era of supreme tyrants, he seeks ultimate absolute rule, walking the Tao of sovereigns. Making the masses submit is far harder than the path of a tyrant. How many can truly conquer hearts? The Vermilion, Bird Ancient Kingdom's palace. In the end, I can only rely on my sister. Men are absolutely worthless. Stop praising me. The Qilin Deathless Elixir is not in my possession. What do you mean? My lord stated clearly. He wants to see if your empire is worthy of his divine medicine. That is why we did not arrive together. Just what kind of monstrous genius is your lord? You will find out soon enough. Meanwhile, inside the imperial capital's tavern, the tea is excellent, but these noisy trashes are ruining the mood. Are you deaf? We demanded your finest immortal brew and delicacies. You serve us this garbage to chase us away? Do you have a death wish? You just ruined the mood for all my martial brothers. How will you compensate us? Suddenly, someone stepped up to block. The Azure Dragon envoys. Is the Vermilion Bird envoy trying to spoil our fun too? I just think the Azure Dragon envoy shouldn't vent his anger on a mere mortal. If the spirit dishes here do not suit your exalted tastes, we can simply dine elsewhere. Brat, be grateful I am giving the Vermilion Bird envoy face, serving such trash. You might as well burn this tavern to the ground. Truly, pearls cast before swine. They cannot even appreciate supreme cuisine. Waiter, are you all right? I am fine. Still breathing. Take these spirit coins. Endure this humiliation for now. The storm will pass soon. Esteemed guest, your extra order of roasted spirit lamb has arrived. Little brother, who exactly are those arrogant fools? How dare they act so brazenly in your capital? Does your emperor not care? Esteemed guest, you must be unaware. Years ago, our emperor explored a mystic realm alongside the Azure Dragon Emperor. Mysteriously, he was ambushed and cursed by the 9-headed fiend serpent. Now, he lies bedridden with shattered meridians. Only the Qilin Deathless Elixir can cleanse the venom. Coincidentally, the Azure Dragon Emperor possesses a stalk of that exact divine medicine. He promised to bestow it upon our empire, but only if our imperial princess agrees to a political marriage. Those thugs earlier are the vanguard of the Azure Dragon First Prince. Sounds like a textbook extortion scheme to drain your empire's blood. The Qilin Elixir is a priceless divine treasure. Would the Azure Dragon Emperor truly give it up? Those dogs from the Azure Dragon Empire have been terrorizing our capital daily. But, as long as we think of our princess, maintaining her royal pride, we can swallow this humiliation. You seem highly devoted to this princess. Of course, Her Highness possesses the legendary vermilion bird. Divine Flame. The Divine Flame, a truly peerless anomaly among the 3,000 supreme constitutions. We are descendants of the divine bird, born from fire, returning to ash. As long as the flame burns, the vermilion bird is eternal. To our people, Her Highness is the absolute pillar of our faith. The vermilion bird ancient. Empire's royal bedchamber. Halt right there. Who are you? How dare you trespass into Her Highness's sanctum? Assassins! Guards! Capture him! Whoever just arrived, state your name. I am Jun Xiaoyao of the Mystic Realm's Jun family. Even if you are an esteemed noble of the Jun family, you cannot just barge in. You absolute fools. Stand down immediately. Greetings, Your Highness. We are doomed. I rushed over the moment I sensed his aura, yet I was still too late. There is something I must warn you about. My young master may be young, but his mind is an unfathomable abyss. Half the time, even I cannot comprehend his supreme will. So banish any naive delusions. He will not grant you favors just because we are friends. And do not expect me to beg for you. If I speak out of turn, it will only provoke his divine wrath against you. If you want that deathless elixir, you must seize his approval yourself. This is a disaster. How? Can I possibly turn the tides now? Forgive me. I was unaware of your eminence's arrival. My guards offended you due to my poor discipline. I beg for the young master's absolute forgiveness. So, you are Xiaoling's sworn sister? You clearly knew why I descended upon your realm. Yet you failed to notify your hounds? It seems my presence is quite unwelcome. Then I shall take my leave. Please, wait. I have offended your divine self. Punish me however you see fit. I only beg the young master to grant me one chance. Spare me the theatrics. A sovereign princess kneeling to an outsider? Where is your royal spine? This is the divine art of spatial manipulation. Very well. I will grant you one final trial. Maid, pour the tea. Speak quickly. You have the time it takes to finish this cup. Convince me to stay. The Fire Province spans 3,000 miles, rich in supreme resources and boundless spiritual lands. It is the absolute domain of our empire. If the young master agrees to bestow the elixir and save my royal father, then millions of citizens, including my entire royal bloodline, shall submit to you. We swear eternal loyalty until death. I believe you are severely mistaken. The Mystic Realm domains controlled by my Jun family dwarf your Fire Province by 100-fold. Furthermore, the surrounding Dao provinces already kneel to my family. Why would I covet your pathetic patch of dirt? Then I am willing to serve you forever. I will be your slave. Just grant me the elixir. I beg you, reconsider. Your Highness, you cannot stoop so low. Do you see the girl behind me? This is Jun Linglong. She has roamed the martial world for 23 years, pouring tea, washing clothes, committing murder, burning cities, kidnapping, and extorting. She executes every command flawlessly. Linglong is my personal shadow. Do you truly believe you could replace her? Do you naive girls think selling your bodies solves every worldly crisis? I will point you toward a true path. After all, I am no demonic tyrant. The citizens of this empire revere you like a goddess. But I wonder, are you truly worthy of their blind devotion? The ancients said, the people are the foundation of a peaceful empire. If your royal family is a gathering of useless trash that cannot even protect its own subjects, why should I waste a supreme treasure like the deathless elixir on you? I depart in exactly 3 days. If you cannot change my mind by then, it will only prove that your emperor's fate is sealed, and he has no destiny with my elixir. Are you scolding me for making things difficult for your sworn sister? I wouldn't dare. It's just, I have never actually committed murder or burned down cities for you. Relax. I just said that to sound imposing and badass. And that concludes today's epic recap. Thank you all for witnessing this legend. Farewell, mortals.